If you watched my last houseplant tutorial, then you can probably tell that I have now moved house.
We opted to move everything ourselves. So after carefully wrapping and packing my 300 plants, we arrived at our new house. Ready to turn these empty rooms into my houseplant haven.
And besides the plants that you might be able to see behind me, this space here actually isn't feeling very planty at the moment. So I thought it was a good time to kind of junglify my living room a little bit and take you through some styling tips. So the first tip is to use big statement plants to kind of give that jungly vibe to the space. And these euphorbias here, for example, are not only very, very spiky, but have quite specific care requirements. And right here, they're getting the perfect amount of light they need, whilst also being very protected. You're not going to catch yourself on them or anything like that. And you'll notice that they are right by the radiator, and this is therefore quite a low humidity spot, and there's not a lot of my plants that would do well here. However, these ones absolutely love it. I find a really good way to help your space feel really, really planty without adding in hundreds of plants is to put your plants on different levels. Have some kind of trailing down, others climbing up, and placing them in spots where they're going to look really, really beautiful, but also thrive and be really happy. Using low light plants to fill dark corners is also a really nice way to just add a little bit of dynamic to your room. As you can see, this one here's got really vibrant, bright green leaves and just helps to brighten that area a little bit. And I've deliberately left this space quite clear because I don't want to just turn it into a sea of green. I think I'll probably break this up with putting some artwork there or something, because it just allows me to appreciate the plants where they are. By placing higher light plants, such as this alocasia on the windowsill, it not only looks gorgeous, but also helps to bridge the gap between the outdoors and the indoors. By having lots of plants around the window, it almost tricks your brain into thinking that you've got a lovely green view outside. I sometimes use vines as well to trail around the window space because I just think it looks lovely. And finally, one of the styling tips that I really like to use is creating and making your own plant decor. And for this, I'm going to take you through into one of the spaces in my new home that I have spent days putting together. You'll see a lot of the tips that I've already shared in this space on a much crazier level. So as you can probably see behind me, this is the start of my jungle space all coming together, and I am absolutely loving it. I'm finding it so much fun. But one of the things that I really like to do is making my own plant pots and plant hangers and revamping them to kind of give this kind of rustic look and put my own spin on things. It's also obviously a much cheaper option than buying plant pots, and it's much more sustainable as well. You can use absolutely anything you like to do this, but I usually just go for macrame cord or something like this. And I like to just stick it down with my glue gun. So I'll just run some glue along the pot, stick it down, and then keep going. It's just a wonderful way to add a personal touch to your plant collection and make it feel very unique. Now, obviously, it's up to you what you do with it. You can just put it on the shelf as is, like this, or you can decorate it and add a little bit more personality to it. But today, I think I'm going to turn this one into a hanging pot so that I can display my plant up high. There are a few different ways you could do hangers as well, but there's two that I find the easiest. I'm just going to measure a piece around about that. So I'm just going to chop it in half. So I've got 2 pieces of string, and then I'm just going to make a cross on the table. Again, I'm just doing this off eye, roughly where the middle looks. And then when I'm about happy, I'm just going to put a little blob of glue to just secure those 2 pieces. And then all you do is you just pop your pot into the middle. And again, just to make sure it's really secure, you're just going to glue these little bits to the side there, just to hold it in place. And you're going to do this on every single side. And when that's all stuck down and you're happy with it, you can just get all of your pieces and just tie them in a knot. And if you're going to be hanging something very heavy, you might want to tie another knot or maybe just put a little bit more glue on there to secure it. But I'm pretty happy with that.
Over the next few days, I settle in more of my 300 houseplants, and I'm excited to see them with fresh eyes. But one thing I'm often asked is whether there's a plant that I love the most.
Picking just one favourite houseplant is genuinely really, really difficult. There are so many that I could talk about, but the one that I always come back to because I am unbelievably proud of it is my Anthurium pallidiflorum, which has just got the most beautiful velvety leaves. I love the white vein as well. It's just perfect. And this one is native to the rainforests of Ecuador, and it's what's known as an epiphytic plant, meaning that it doesn't actually grow out of the ground in its natural environment. It typically grows attached to trees, shrubs, rocks, other things like that. So when you're potting this plant, you need to kind of think about that and how you can replicate it. So I've grown it in lots of things like bark, perlite, kind of a really nice chunky mix that doesn't actually contain that much soil at all. And this plant is very quick to grow in the right conditions. I've got a little one here, and I'm hoping by this time next year, maybe this one will be at the same stage. But the other thing I'm really excited about with my Anthurium pallidiflorum at the moment is potentially pollinating it, because it has started giving me inflorescences, which are essentially kind of like flowers, these things here. And you do that by collecting the pollen that it produces, and I will show you how I do that. I just get some kitchen foil, and if you look very, very closely in here, you can see some of the pollen that I've collected already, and I will just pop my inflorescence into that. So I just brush the pollen into the tin foil, and I'll keep doing this pretty much every single day while the plant is still producing pollen. And then to store it, I just very carefully fold my tin foil up, and then I pop it into a freezer bag with some little silica gel things to absorb moisture. And I will actually store this in the freezer until my plant is ready to pollinate. And I've got a brand new inflorescence just here that is about to open, hopefully in the next few days. And when that opens up, it will look very wet, and it's essentially producing something called stigmatic fluid. And this means that it's receptive. And when that time comes, I will grab my pollen, put it all over that, and then hopefully, fingers crossed, the plant will be pollinated. I have tried it with this one as well. It's too soon to tell whether or not it's worked, but if it has, the plant will start to produce lots of berries that I can then plant, and I'll have lots of this plant. I think the great thing about this plant is that it is just a fantastic talking point. Like when people come over, it's a very unusual looking plant. It's one that people want to know lots about. It is just one that honestly I could not recommend highly enough. It is so rewarding to grow, beautiful to look at, and very, very easy to care for as well.